and a
Supportive.
help you past it atmosphere.
Yeah. So, so I know Cole already started the video. He jumped in there. Yeah.
Oh, ooh.
Ooh. Um, so what we want to talk about today is just thinking about supporting and helping other people along their journey. And I think that a lot of times, not only in the horse world, in the world in general, there's so many times that we become so self-centered and we don't help others. And I also think, though, too, that it's important that we help those that want to be helped, not the people that don't want to be helped. I see that a lot in the horse world where, people want to come up and be like, Jody, this is what you need to do. And you're like, I really didn't ask for any help,
I don't
and
really care what you think.
and a lot of times too, what I've seen is the people that want to go around and tell you how to do something without you asking for it seem to be the people that are not always having the best information. But I also feel like those people, their heart's in the right place. They just are wrong on the presentation of it. And um, there's often things that I'm like, man, I could really help that person, but if they're not in a place to receive that
Yeah, they
information,
don't want it.
then it doesn't help me help them. You know what I mean? But then I have times that people come up and they ask me questions, or they ask you questions, and they're like, hey, what about this? And it's like, man, I'm happy to share that information and help you guys move forward. And that's one reason we actually came up with the ranch circle, was because there's a lot of times that we are in the barn and there's actually nobody around. It's like, man, if somebody was around, I'd ask them this question.
Yeah.
So we made the ranch circle to where we have our barn talk, which is so much fun, where we get to actually bring up those questions and ask those and just have a genuine conversation about them. Or you can drop it in the community and be like, hey, I was working on
what about
this, I'm
this?
stuck, kind of thing.
Well, and I'm really blessed in that when I get stuck, I've got you. And if
Yeah.
you don't have it, Dan might have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never yet come to you with something that you went, no. Usually it's like, well, we can do this, this, or this.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want to go? Because like the one time when we were working on Easter is a very forward mare and wants to go fast. And we were trying to teach her some speed control. And she said, well, you could put her in a little tiny circle and do this. And I thought, I will puke if I do that. And so then the other option was to do the flower power, which worked wonders. And to get soft. When we got her really soft, her stop got way better and she was much more attentive. And so, yeah, it's nice to have like-minded people. And I always get impressed too in the fact that, like, if I pop into your house or something, you and Dan are always trying to improve yourselves with your horsemanship, which to me is like, okay, because you already know everything. But yeah.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing too. We've got our people that we call. You know what I mean? There's times that I pick up the phone and I call Kevin. I'm like, hey, what do I do? Different things like that, because to me, it's important to have somebody that I can ask and help me when I get stuck. And I have that in my business. I have Colton that I call for help and things like that, and mentorship on that end. And I just don't think you can have enough of the right people in your corner to help you move forward. Because sometimes I see that, people are led astray. And sometimes I think that people are surrounded by good people. They just have different goals. And it's important to find the people that have the goals that you want, that you're searching for, because my goals may not be your goals.
Right.
And it's like, I need people that have things to help me to get to my goal. But a lot of times, sometimes we don't know what our goal is either. And until we become clear on that, we can't achieve it. And sometimes people, I think, are just out to enjoy life.
Right.
And I like that. That's a great goal.
I felt like, too, when we did our women's series, that was so enlightening. Because people don't always, like you said, people don't always know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like over the course of that series, they were like, "This is what I want."
Yeah.
And it was really cool to watch. And you know, I mean, we try not to interfere unless you need us to interfere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only thing we're going to do is make sure you don't have a wreck.
Right.
But other than that, you know, we'll try to help you if we can.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want us to help you, we're okay with that too.
Mm-hmm.
We can just stand there.
Well, and I think that's the thing. Like when you jump into like a lesson program and stuff, people always laugh because as soon as my lessons start, I'm like in the mode. Like it is serious, game on. Like you know, you have my undivided
She
attention
is.
for an hour, and we're getting serious on you and your horse and moving forward. And then after that hour, I'm like back to like chill out, hang in the barn. But it's important because I feel, you know, if you're coming to me and you're taking your time, I want to be respectful of that. And if you're investing that time and investing 100% of yourself into that lesson, I want you to get as much as you can out of that. Um, and so it's always so much fun to help people. That's too where we've got the retreats and stuff where I love it, where it's like day after day that we get to be together and we get to hang out and enjoy each other. But we build those relationships and it is a lot of fun. But too, like that event is very relaxed and focused on the individual people that are in it and what they need.
It's like barn talk on steroids.
I like that.
It really is. It's like barn talk on steroids. And I like, because I mean, the conversations that you and I have in this barn,
Mm-hmm.
when there's no camera or anything and we're just out here, sometimes they're just ridiculous. There should be a camera because y'all be laughing, rolling on the floor because we're silly sometimes. But it's so fun.
It is. And
Sometimes we get really deep and those are scary.
Yeah.
But most of the time we're pretty lighthearted and it's just about, you know, look up, raise your shoulder,
Yeah.
move your foot this far.
Well, my favorite is when I ride around and you yell at me and you're like, look up.
Dawn does so much training and stuff that she's forever trying to make sure that everything down here is where it needs to be. And the horse is going, what are you doing? I'm like, if you'd look up, that would go better.
Yep. But we need that.
We do.
And it's not always the like, I think this is where people get disappointed where it's not some deep, dark secret. And it's just like, dude, if you look up, like that'd fix you.
That fix you.
But what I love is to, I used to yell at you all the time for looking up. And the reason that I would notice you weren't looking up was because that's a flaw that I have. And so we always recognize in someone else our flaws. And it's always interesting because when we do recognize what it is of something that we either could do better or we're doing wrong or we want to fix, when we turn around and look at someone else, that's the first thing that we notice.
And you know, sometimes it's not necessarily telling you what to do. It's going, ooh, that was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know there are times when I'm writing going, okay, we're doing all right. And you go, oh, wow, that was gorgeous. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Those are the fun things though. I mean, it really is. I mean, sometimes we get too focused on all of what we've got to fix and we don't realize all the things that we're getting right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was riding the Roan Ranger and, you know, and Dan's like, you've got this going right, this going right, this going right, this going right. He's 2 years old. He's green under saddle. Like, he's like, you've got all these things.
Mm-hmm. He's doing fabulous.
And I'm still looking at like where I want him to be in 10 years. And I want to stay focused on that because I want to get him there. I don't want to be like, oh, he's a 2-year-old when he's 10. And he's not going to be, but
no, not even close.
But still, at the same time, recognizing all of the changes that he's making, and I think that's why we like young horses so much is that we turn around and we really get to watch the big changes fast because they do. They mature and they come along. Like even this little horse here, Chisholm, like love this thing. He just is such a smooth, easygoing ride. Got a nice personality on him and stuff, but to watch him learn as such a young colt, like how to handle pressure, how to step around correctly, how like he's got a beautiful lope and trot, and these transitions are phenomenal in those types of things. And so it's just so cool as he went from a non-riding horse, you know, unbroke, to in such a short time. I bet he's probably got less than 90 rides on him, and just a pleasure to get on. And I mean, I pulled him off the wall and was like, hey, I was going to talk to you about some stuff. Let's shoot some videos. And we didn't warm up. We haven't done anything yet. And here he is standing
He's
pretty
being
darn good.
really good. Really, really good.
So, yeah, very exciting.
I get tickled because I get tickled when you say they're 2-year-olds, because I'm sorry, but most of our 2-year-olds, thanks to you and Dan, ride like they're 5.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I think you lose sight of that sometimes.
I do. That's that whole thing when you kind of get into your own spot and you don't realize like
overly
what you're
focused.
doing, or what you've got going on, and those types of things. And we don't recognize the good stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, as a trainer, we always look at like, you know, we've got time frames. We've got to move these horses forward. We have expectations to meet, not only for ourselves but our horses and clients. And you kind of get in those modes all the time, and it's great when you hear those comments like, oh, that looked amazing, and you're like, oh, it's really coming together, thank goodness.
I did good. And sometimes it is just simply ride the horse.
Absolutely.
Just ride that horse, get the wet saddle pads.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's headed the right direction. We'll fix little things as we go.
Yeah. Well, in a horse like this, I mean, he's at a spot. He just needs consistent riding. He has all of our 2-year-olds, but they've got the foundation. They've got all the body control on them. They've got all the things. Now it's just a matter of maturity and, like you said, wet saddle pads, getting them out, doing the things.
Yep.
So,
just keeping it going.
Yeah, and I love it because these guys got great minds and everything, and it's just so much fun. So,
gotta fly.
All right. Well, hey, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Keep us rolling. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for tuning in.